move so I can trace the back? Can you?
Look.
At the front. Oh, flips. Do a flip. Do another one. Oh, yeah. Jeez. So here's the thing. There's this striped fuzzy sweater in Infinity Nikki that I'm in love with. And I could not find one that was remotely similar anywhere online. But I did find a fuzzy sweater, white fuzzy sweater at the thrift store. That was just such a good buy. The furries and their fursuit tutorials have informed me that alcohol markers work to dye fabric like faux fur. So I'm gonna test it. We're gonna go inside the seam right now and see how it works. Let's turn this inside out. Had to eat some animal crackers to fuel up for this. I'm gonna test the seam. Should not be visible on the front side when I do this. I'm gonna look at a picture of the sweater. One sec. Here is what I'm working with. I decided I'm gonna opt for the sleeve instead and use that seam. And I'm not gonna match the color that's on there. I'm gonna just try it with the yellow because it's the palest color. And then if I actually have to make these stripes, oh my god, that's gonna be a whole thing. We'll see. That's what it looks like. It's super vibrant. That's good. You kind of can see through a tiny bit, but that's gonna be covered up. Don't worry. Good to know. Let's do this smudge test. I don't think that's going anywhere. Test down some different surfaces. Like, does it rub off on the paper? I'm gonna try that. There's a little bit of transfer. I did not give it very long to set. I think that's a win. I think I need to test the red too. This one's gonna be more of an issue. Lovely footage of just my hand. There we go. Let's give that a second and see how much it transfers. Okay, so great color payoff. After a couple minutes, pretty bad transfer, but after over 5 minutes, pretty reasonable. I'm hoping that I can steam this whole thing to kind of heat set it. And really the goal is not to ever wash it, but to just like spot clean it. And I don't want all the marker to be rubbing off on everything at the con. So I think that's achievable. I was losing my mind when I was making this cosplay, so I lost the one good clip where I explain what I'm doing. But I'm making this. It's the star beret from the shrinking outfit in Infinity Nikki, aka Starry Trampoline. This is Nikki in the whole fit that I'm trying to go for, including that sweater that I'm talking about in the beginning with the really distinct fuzzy stripes. And those are the two pieces I'm focusing on. And then the rest of it is just going to be from my wardrobe. Drafting and making this hat was really a test of my skills, and for some reason I was so convinced that it was all going to break down at every step along the way, so I didn't really record many of my thoughts throughout the process, although there's going to be a long talking segment coming up where I am just bedraggled and losing it. So that's just your little forewarning. It is a very accurate depiction of life, though. He's in the bed. Oh, he looks like a little lemur. Yeah, baby. Star beret update. Okay. Are you ready? Much has happened today. Whew, I'm feeling it. So it all started with a little sketch. Okay. Sketch. Did I just crumple up the band pattern? I was trying to clean up a little bit, and I almost threw out the pattern. Okay. Hi. I was telling you that I'm feeling a little worn out. I made a little sketch of what I was thinking about. I did some stressy, messy math for hexagon stuff. After many lines were drawn, as you can see, I had this shape. This is the circumference of my head plus some seam allowance. This is a little bit smaller than I'm making it ultimately, but yeah. Look, it's gonna go on. Be like this. I made that. I also made just the band pattern for the circumference of my head. That seemed good. I tried it on with the paper, Trader Joe's bag style. And then I made this, which is the actual fabric plus this super stiff interfacing, doubled up in there, folded over. I tried that on. That's like a real hat band, okay? And then took these, I took this and I cut the other two things I needed, doubled, so that I have an outside and a lining. One of them is with the hole. That's the inside, okay? Looks like nothing right now. And one of them is the top of the hat. Good Lord. Here's what needs to happen. I need to rest my little poor handsies. Tomorrow, when I wake up, I'm going to draft the embroidery, which I'm gonna do with this. It's not like free motion, it's like lines, but I'm gonna do it by hand, which means I need to trace it out onto here. And there's embroidery both inside the hat band and on top. Obviously it only needs to happen to one layer, which is good. So what I'm gonna do after that's all traced out onto the right sides of the fabric, onto the wrong sides of one top and bottom, I'm going to attach a piece of interfacing with cream thread, and then I'm gonna carefully go over all of the traced out embroidery designs, and that's gonna take probably all of tomorrow if I'm realistic, but maybe I'll put together like the hat, maybe. And then once I do ultimately put it together, it's gonna need a little finishing by hand. Hopefully not much if I am like smart about it, but you know, I'm not always. So, and then it's gonna need the pom-poms attached by hand. And the pom-poms, I think I'm going to trim down first. Did I show you them? Yeah, I did. I opened them. They're huge. But I do think I was really worried about like it being stiff enough to hold them, and I'm less worried now because like in total there will be 4 layers of this stuff, and then I mean this fabric, it's kind of flimsy. That's why I'm super glad I got the really stiff interfacing, but like this is pretty strong. I might still need to figure something out to make it more rigid. But what that would even be at this point, that would be stronger than this. I'm not sure. Like stuffing the whole thing, maybe? I don't want to do that. My experience with that is that it gets really, really hot on your head. See my mushroom hat cosplays. Okay, I'm gonna leave this somewhere safe, away from my cat's butts, and come back to it tomorrow. There it is. There it is. That's one layer. It's pretty pointy. I'm gonna wear my hair down, across my back like that. It's gonna need some little clips, but like, even like that, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. It turned out like pretty great, guys. I'm pleased with it. I used like every last drop of ink. The sleeves are a little paler than the body, but honestly, you can't tell that much. It's fairly accurate. It's like 90% accurate. Okay, I didn't do an update yesterday because I was kind of crunching, and I finished everything, so that was great. And the sweater is done. The hat was already done, but I also wanted to make these little things that I'm gonna hopefully give away to anybody who like chats with me about Infinity Nikki. These little patches that I make on my embroidery machine, and that was a big project because I wanted to make it so that they're like iron-on, and so I did that, and then I made a little video about how to iron them on, and then I made a little QR code to the video. But it all got done in the end. And I left a lot of time to get ready this morning compared to how long it usually takes me to get into an outfit, and this is an easy outfit, but I feel like I'm still running out of time. And I'm gonna be in line for a while to get my badge. So, I'm going by myself. Lily has work today. And I think it'll be an experience. I've never been to a con by myself before, so hopefully it'll be really fun. I think the makeup's gonna take me a while, so I'm gonna come back when I'm done. Do we like it? I'm Nikki. Hi. I'm a stylist with the Stylist Guild. I propose a styling challenge. Do we like the hat? Do we like the hair? I'm just leaving my hair wavy. The bangs they've been challenging me these past couple days, but I'm trying to like cover only a little bit of my forehead and get that like round shape. I have a couple of false lashes on my lower. I think the makeup looks really extreme in person, but it's cute. Looks pretty normal in this light. I'm gonna take a few videos before I go, but I have to pack my bag still. The poses, oh my god. I'm bringing my packable jacket. Hopefully we'll squash down. I guess Will Call was open like a lot earlier, so I probably should have left before now, but I'm going. I'm just gonna walk down there and see what happens. Not in a rush. Never in a rush today. That's kind of my motto. I look fairly innocuous without the hat on. My jacket covering the outfit, but I have a lot of blush on. We've lost the eyelashes. A tragedy occurred, but they were falling off at home, so I figured I wasn't gonna fuss with them. Okay. I'm feeling sweaty. There's also more people here now. I need to get some food soon. Or a drink or something. Painted in there though. Well, I'm on my way out of here. It's like 5. I think it's a good time to call it quits. Had a really good time. Bought a bunch of comics right at the end. Hello, welcome to my messy space. Hopefully, oh, hi. I knew you would come. I have some of his things and he's gonna take offense to that, but this is a con debrief. I haven't talked to anyone yet today, so let's prepare the voice. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Okay, I want to talk about the overall con experience, my outfit, and what I got, what I purchased, because I bought some things. I loved having the experience of going to a con by myself for the first time. That was really exciting, just because, you know, I'm new to Seattle. I definitely lean on my wife for like a lot of socialization, but she is a busy lady, so I'm trying to go out and do new things. I definitely chatted with a lot of people. I chatted with people about fandom stuff in the artist alley. I talked about my costume with some other great cosplayers, and I talked a lot about crochet and crafting with this one person. No friends yet. Guys, I am struggling. To be fair, the person I talked to the longest was from Portland, so like, yeah, we weren't gonna be buddies hanging out every day. But I'm finding y'all in the Pacific Northwest to be a little shy, a little introverted. Me too, okay? But we got to do something about it. Yeah, I'm just finding the vibes a little confusing. It's a little hard to tell when people are like receptive to engaging, which I found to be like a very different environment than especially Dragon Con in Atlanta, because people are just so loud and so open there, and it's a much larger event. It's like a 100,000 people event type thing or something like that. So, oh my god, but like the con organization itself was really good. It was really easy to get around. It wasn't like overcrowded, which a lot of events I've been to have been like dangerously overcrowded. There's a lot of space to sit down and chill and eat. There was a lot of staff members who were like really well informed. It seemed like access stuff was really good, although I didn't get a disability badge this time because the lines seemed okay. And that's like the real problem I have. I can't stand in line for hours upon hours. Otherwise I'll faint. So I've only gotten like disability at an event one time at Dragon Con, and it was really useful there because you have to wait in lines to get into buildings. That's not really the situation here. But here's my badge. It's got Mothman on it. Aww, he's cute. I never know what to do with badges, but I think I'm just gonna stick it in my scrapbook without the lanyard or something. I don't know. Okay, my costume. I am so proud that I finished the hat. So let's take a look at it and let's talk about it. Here she is. Let's talk about the materials, the structure, and wearing it. So the materials, I think I sourced really like accurate things for the most part. The stripes are a little prominent on the design, or on this compared to the design, but I'm really okay with it because they're such a nice touch. The gold embroidery I did freehand, as in like I didn't use my embroidery machine. I just used my regular girly. It was so good. It's a metallic thread, which can be a little fussy. Gave me no problems whatsoever. It looks really fun. I think there are some areas that are a little bit more patchy than I would ideally have them, and I didn't go back and fix them. And these little guys ideally would be stars. I might fix that. And then there's embroidery on the underside too, which is really what shows most of the time when you're wearing it. But I think it's really stand out with that. Like, it's real. It's real techniques. I'm really happy with my progress on cosplay using like actual wearable clothing techniques instead of some more costumey things like fabric paint, glue, gluing seams together, hot glue, stuff like that. Those serve a huge purpose, but I want to be building my like wearable garment skills anyway, so it's fun to practice them when I'm making cosplay. I was hugely worried about the weight of the pom-poms on these points, and look, they are totally fine. Yeah. So what I did was I used 2 layers of sew-in stabilizer that's like quite thick. Do I have some to show you? I do. That was definitely the right call. And I was fussed about the lining and like making it fit inside. Not a problem. Just used the same pattern pieces, flipped them in there. I did, I hand sewed on the band because my machine was a little, no, I hand sewed in the lining after sewing on the band. That was also the right call. It looks pretty good in there though. It's secure. Also, the pom-poms are quite secure. The pom-poms were the hardest thing to source. I couldn't find cream ones in like a normal 2 to 3 inch size like this. And I really wanted them to be cream because this fabric already skews so cream. So I had these huge pom-poms that I cut down. The fibers got all over the place. But these look pretty legit. They could be a little rounder in some spots, but I think the overall effect is so cute. Okay, then finally, the wig clips. These keep this on my head at the most improbable angle. And people are like, oh my God, you certainly have a hat on your head. And let me just show you putting it on again. So I kind of like slide the clips back and forth as I push them down. So they're through a good amount of hair. I also had a lot of texture spray in my hair. That helped a lot. And this one kind of goes against the grain on top of my head. And then I can just like move around, no problem. I could be really headbanging at a rock concert with this thing on. And it's comfortable. No headaches. So yeah, I'm gonna wear it for the rest of this. Why not? But then I think I'm gonna hang it on my wall. It deserves a good spot. Okay, let's talk about some of the things I bought. Okay, so my first purchase, which felt very impulsive, but I've seen cat toys at so many conventions, like nerdy cat toys or just fun ones, and I always resisted because my guys are monsters. They're so active, they're so powerful. I thought they would shred them up right away. This one's gotten a lot of play already, this little Mothman. But he's still hanging in there. They love this. They're watching me right now because I'm holding on to them. You getting in there? Oh yeah. And then I wanted to try this rope because they're real chewers, and this felt like it had some good textures for them. They like the fleece kind of thing because they're always biting my blankets and stuff. So this can be their very own thing to bite and chew on. That was an instant hit. The moment I came home, they were like, oh, that is for me. And then I got a few comics. I did a pass right at the end where I was like, I'm gonna buy some comics right now. And that was really fun. I like collecting little indie comics and zines and stuff. So this is a risograph printed zine from this cool group called Zine Hug. And the illustrations are so cute. Let me find a like really good one to share. So they use their color charts. There's the color charts on one page that show all the different possibilities with different rolls of ink, barrels of ink. I don't really know the proper term. And then they made little characters based on the vibes. It's so cute. And I really want to go learn how to do this. Learn how to use the risograph. Apparently they have workshops, so I'm gonna try doing that. And then I got these two comics from this one person I was really having fun talking to, named Audrey Meeker. This one is about not being able to swim, which is relatable to me. I'm excited to read this. It looks really cute. I really like the style. And then while I was also talking to that person, I grabbed this tiny zine, which is about a different sport, volleyball. It's quite cute. And I love sort of auto fiction, memoir, especially in comics. It really hits different for me. So love that. I also got this print, which I framed already in a sort of weird way, but this is a beautiful, beautiful Harrow Hark print from the second book, When She's Suffering. This is gonna go on my wall. I popped some fabric around it because this frame doesn't have glass on it, as you can see right now. This is probably a temporary solution, but a lot of the frames that we brought from our move like broke in some way, so that's what happened to the glass. And I just haven't replaced like new ones, especially of this size. It needs to be pretty big. So I'm gonna see how long this works for. Even like the bag from this Zine Hug team is really cute. I gave away a lot of my Whim Stars. These are the ones I have left. Those are very sweet. And I was pooped afterward. I walked a lot. I was tired. I walked back up the Big Hill Bridge on the way home. I kept my hat on the whole time. A bunch of people in the neighborhood had lots to say about it. Yeah. But it was a blast. It was a really comfortable day as far as cons go. I've worn a lot of really uncomfortable costumes. This might be my comfortable costume era, or like at least making clothes that are marginally more comfortable. Maybe they're still like extravagant, right? Maybe they're still not the most chill, sensory friendly thing, but they're a step in that direction. That's something I'm trying to work on for myself and all of my like pain and fatigue issues. Do you like to go to conventions? Do you gain life by making somewhat obscure costume pieces? Do you, were you there? Were you at ECCC? Did we meet? I know that I gave away, like, my link with the Whimstar, so, like, it's possible that we met. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for making it to the end. This is probably a bit of a long one. I appreciate you so much. I have more coming, so if you want to stick around, please like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. It helps me do this. And make something that makes you happy today. I'll see you next time. So long. Bye-bye.